like, words are hard. All right, we haven't done a what I eat in a day in a while, so I thought I would do that today. Here I have my first cup of coffee. It has just a little splash of half and half and a few drops of stevia back there, and that's gonna kickstart my day. Alrighty, it has been almost 2 hours since my first cup of coffee, and I've decided that I am going to have a cup of oolong tea. I use the Prince of Peace brand from Amazon. I'll try to remember to link that in my description. I am really wanting another cup of coffee, but I want to eat breakfast, so I'm not going to have another cup of coffee because that will put me in crossover territory. And right now I'm at about 2 hours since I drank that first cup, and I am going to probably, I don't know if I'm gonna bake some muffins or if I'm going to make some oatmeal or what, but I will be having an e-breakfast and it will take me a little bit of time. Hopefully by the time it is done, it'll be at least 2.5, preferably almost 3 hours since that coffee. All right, so I've chosen to have the pancakes, the Trim Healthy Mama pancakes, or Trim Healthy pancakes, and it is 8:43. So I went through and the recipe says it makes 3 pancakes, but I use a little like medium-sized cookie scoop in order to make like little silver dollar sized pancakes. All right, it is almost 1 o'clock and I'm starving. So I had on my schedule that or on my meal plan, I was going to do quinoa, chicken, and vegetables with a salad. But I decided to switch it up since I don't want to take the time to wait and cook quinoa and chicken. So this is one of my freezer burritos that I have the video on. I've got a little bit of Cholula and about 2 tablespoons of this Greek yogurt in place of sour cream for this. And then I've got a huge pile of spring mix with some fresh cilantro salsa. This I buy at Sam's Club. And this is going to make for an e-lunch. So basically what I've done on my meal plan is just swapped one e-lunch for a different e-lunch, and I don't really like to adhere to the whole like strict schedule type of a thing, but because I'm switching up meals but they're the same fuel type, I still feel like I'm getting a good variety in my fuel sources, and this is gonna be delicious, so I'm gonna go chow down. It is 3:45 and I am really craving some coffee. So I've got my Keurig over here. It's brewing me another cup of coffee. This will only be my 2nd cup for the day. And I feel like that's pretty good for me. Typically I do 3+ cups of coffee a day. And yeah, today, because I knew I was going to have an e-breakfast and I wanted to be intentional with not crossing over, I made sure to have oolong tea after that first cup of coffee. And I've definitely felt a little bit more than really tired today. So there's that. All right, I have my cup of coffee. It's got some collagen, half and half, and some drops of stevia. And I'm going to enjoy this. And I wanted to kind of do Wellness Wednesday as a what I eat in a day, just to sort of, I don't know, give my brain a break. My brain has been fried since last night. Lauren, she slept horribly. I was up with her every 2 hours all night long. And actually the first 2 hours that she was in bed, I was with her 3 times. So it was a lot of getting up in the middle of the night, and my brain is a little bit fried. I wanted to talk about weigh-in because it's been a couple weeks since I've done a Wellness Wednesday. So this is officially Wellness Wednesday week 29. I haven't actually completed 29 of these, but it's the 29th week since I started Wellness Wednesdays on my channel. So we're just going to call it week 29. On week 26, my last official weigh-in, that was June 27th, I weighed in at 145.4. And today I weighed in at 145.6. So that's a 0.2 pound gain. And I'm really content with that. And I'll tell y'all why. My sister and my brother-in-law came to visit us the week of 4th of July, so I didn't do a Wellness Wednesday then because we were just busy having family time. We stayed on plan and we ate very well, and I did notice the scale went down a little bit, but I don't quite remember what the exact number was, but it was less than a pound. I would have remembered it if it was more than a pound. So then, as soon as my sister and brother-in-law left to go back home, we left to go to California. And in we were there for a solid week plus some travel time. So we were gone from home for more than a week. And that usually means that I wind up losing weight because if there's nothing on plan, I won't eat. At least that's the way it was these past couple of trips to Texas. But in California, we decided just to eat off plan and be content with it. It was a lot more difficult to find more carb cycling options. So we wound up having off-plan pizza and, Mexican food with like all the white flour tortillas that were freshly made right in front of our face. They were really good, but at the same time, it's kind of one of those things where I don't know why I chose to eat them, honestly. I think I just wanted them. Anyway, having eaten off plan for that whole week, we got home on Saturday around lunch, and I weighed in that afternoon, evening time, and I always weigh in the mornings just to be consistent or at least like have a consistent set of data. But I did weigh in that afternoon, and I was up to 147-ish, maybe 147.4 or something like that. But I also knew it was middle of the day, closer to the end of the day, and we had eaten like junk the whole previous week. So I wasn't too surprised. So back to eating our normal food, eating our normal way, having our own home, kitchen, comfort, all of those things. I was able to shed and reverse all of that weight gain almost completely. So that's why I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. And then there are a couple of other things that I kind of wanted to touch on, at least for a minute. So while I'm nursing Lauren, I know that my body will likely hold on to at least 5 to 10 extra pounds just because I need the extra, my body just needs that to be able to produce milk for her. But there is something, and so I don't mind that. That doesn't bother me at all, and I'm content to stay this way until she weans. And so I set the weight piece aside because I'm going to be content with where I'm at. I just kind of want to maintain in this range. But there's a piece that I have complete control over, and that is that dirty word, exercise. And I've talked about that in a Wellness Wednesday previously, and I just want to briefly touch on it today. My sister and my brother-in-law, they do CrossFit, and I really love the strength training aspect of CrossFit. I don't like to run. I don't like endurance training. I do not like cardio. None of those things are for me. And I'm sure that I could benefit from them, and I'm sure I could learn to at least tolerate them, but it's really not my jam. And so I don't do it because at this stage of the game, there's nobody forcing me to, so I don't wanna. Anyway, the strength training aspect of CrossFit is very intriguing to me. And we have a box here in town, and I'm trying to just learn a little bit more about it and see what they do here at our local box, just as far as like the children are concerned, because the times of day that I would be able to go do a workout of the day, I would probably have to bring all 3 girls with me. And I just don't know how that would play out, especially as Lauren is getting into toddlerhood almost. I mean, like she's 10 months old almost, but you know, pretty quickly here, she's going to be a toddler walking around into everything. So just trying to figure out what they do as far as like how they incorporate children into workouts of the day, or if they've got some little playroom or whatever the case may be. So that is very intriguing to me. But another thing that's very intriguing to me is something that I just recently came across like less than a week ago. That's t-tapp. How many of you have heard of t-tapp? So it's been around for well over a decade. I'm sure it's probably like the oldest YouTube video I found on it was like 2007. And I'm pretty sure she had been developing that program long before she started like putting out YouTube content. There's not a whole lot of YouTube content. Oh, t-tapp, Teresa Tapp. She devised an exercise program for like losing inches, leaning out your body, tightening your skin. She does a lot of lymphatic work, which is very intriguing to me, and I'm very interested in learning more about how to continue to get the lymphatic system moving properly. And I've listened to Sean Stevenson's podcast, The Model Health Show, and he's talked about like doing the rebounder for lymphatic health and whatnot. So all of that to say, I didn't know anything about t-tapp until about less than a week ago, and it's super intriguing to me, like extremely intriguing, but it's very expensive, and I don't know that I want to spend my my little bit of Lindsey free money to spend on that. There are a few programs that are lower cost for the intention of using with kids in like a school setting or a homeschool setting and using that as their PE credits. That's pretty interesting to me. So if I can, I'd like to maybe look into that a little bit and using some of our homeschooling funds to get those 2 DVDs and use them as PE. But there's a lot of free information on the t-tapp website, the Try Before You Buy section. It's not like video format where she's talking you through it, but at least it gives you some pictures and some written explanations. So I'm going to kind of play around with that a little bit here and just keep researching that. T-tapp is very similar to Pilates from what I understand. So I just want to give it a try, and I've read on the Trim Healthy Mama forums that several women have done it and loved it, and that forum is pretty much dead. Trim Healthy Mama membership site has a few threads discussing it, so I found that interesting. Anyway, that's just kind of where I'm at. It is like 4:30. What time is it? 4:20. I'm going to drink this coffee and then I'm gonna get started on dinner. Alrighty, everybody, it is 6:15, time for some dinner, and I have made the Make It Again chicken from Trim Healthy Table. I don't have the book open over there, so I can't remember what page that's on, but I will link my meal plan in the iCards so you can see that. I've just steamed some broccoli here with it, and this is some spring mix, and the dressing they make in that recipe, I made too much, so I just poured some of that on there. It's a really good honey mustard substitute. And then over here, I've got more water. I've been drinking quarts of water today. I think this is quart number 3, and I have had a quart of Keto Aid as well. It is the end of the evening. Girls are in bed and we're ready to sit down with some shows. I have a chocolate glucose pudding. This recipe is in Trim Healthy Mama cookbook, and I actually like to make mine, my process is a little bit different is what I'm trying to say. And the recipe tells you to blend it for X number of seconds, let it sit and rest for a few moments, and then, you know, back and forth and back and forth. I find that if I just let my blender go and go and go for like 6 minutes, then I wind up with really, really good results on the thickness of the pudding. Ooh. So it's, you know, it's pretty awesome there. And it's not very slimy either, you know, like it kind of feels like Jell-O pudding, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, this is what I'm gonna have for my evening snack, and I'm gonna call it a night. So I really appreciate you coming along with me on this Wellness Wednesday, What I Eat in a Day Wednesday, whatever we're calling it today. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to check out my content and see if it is something that interests you, and hang around and join the conversation, and just come along with me on this Trim Healthy Mama journey. I am going to be posting some homeschool videos, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.